Hello, my name is Sekit, and we are playing FTB One, and we're out here by our lava pumping setup in the Nether, which is, still got a ways to go before it pumps all of this up. So that's good. What we're out here for, we want to try to attract some crystalline bees, and maybe any other bees that naturally generate in the Nether. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft a whole bunch of quartz nests. And you can't tell, well now you can, because these are using up the iron swords when you do the crafting. Alright, we're going to put 8 of these down. And now we need honey treats. Let's see. Around here somewhere, huh? There they are. Okay, honey blocks. Ooh, we're out of honey. Alright, pay no attention to the ugly structure here. We've only got enough bottles of honey for 4 honey treats, so that's gonna have to do. 2, 3, 4. Cool. So as we learned earlier in the series, this thing will suck up fluid beneath the ground. At least apparently that's what it's doing. We were getting that water in when we first set this thing up in the overworld, and there was no visible water. I guess it's doing the same thing with the lava. Okay, just what we were looking for. Crystalline bees. Let's go ahead and catch ourselves a couple. Come on. There we go. Important foundations. Is this the kind we can click on? It is not. Let's look at the advancements anyway. Let's see if they're, where are they? Minecraft, the end, adventure, statues. Huh. Well, what it's all about is breeding. We've got a good amount of bees going. But all these bees that you find in the world, including the crystalline bee that we just went to, hey, I'm real bad at these things. I have a tendency to let the bee go as soon as I catch it. Oh, there's one. I'm trying to catch these modded bees here. Because they don't do anything. They don't produce anything. All they are is a breeding mechanic. We basically use them to craft other bees. Now the question is, of course, what bees do we want? We don't need all of them. We've got plenty of animal products and crops and other natural things from our Ars Nouveau setup and the resource chicken setup, which I'm gonna have to do something with one of these days. That's given us most of the vanilla resources that we need. So I think the way to approach this is to look at what the bees are and figure out what we need. Like skeletal bees, we're getting a source of bones. We're gonna try to get them to spawn over in that far structure beyond the gross villager setup that's going to go away at some point. Don't look over there. But let's say we got this ghostly bee, right? And it doesn't look like it has bee spawning. Okay, so we need a soul sand nest with a honey treat in the nether to get a ghostly bee. It doesn't appear to have a breeding use, so we're probably gonna ignore it. It gives you ghostly combs, which if you're running through a centrifuge, the fancy thing is a gas tier, and we have a source of gas tiers with the resource chickens, so we don't need to mess with all of these. Something we don't have, though, is a source of copper. So for a crystalline bee and an ashy mining bee, if we breed them, we'll get a copper. Now we need an ashy mining bee. That, apparently, we might have to put a honey treat in a sand nest in the desert. Okay, I changed my mind. We're gonna try a savanna here. Um, there's what do you call it? A desert farther off, about twice as far from the base as we've gone, and I noticed these will appear in a savanna. So I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try. I feel like we might get other kinds of bees here too. I don't know that. But let's go ahead and make 4 honey treats. We're starting to get a good bit more honey now. Oops, that's not how you do it. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get these started. Okay, let's see what comes out of here. We got a chocolate mining bee. Are they all chocolate mining bees? Come here. There's one more around here somewhere. An ashy mining bee. So ashy, chocolate, ashy, and ashy. All right, awesome. Okay, so ashy and crystalline might get us one of any 4 bees. So I think what we're gonna do is where did those crystalline bees go? I think what we're gonna do for the time being is to, let's get out some flowers first, right? Okay, we have some. Let's get flowers in our offhand. And we'll put a crystalline bee and an ashy mining bee. Okay, I think the crystalline bee just went straight into the hive. Yeah, so we might as well let it. Aha, here it is. Will it heart? Yeah. So apparently its flower is actually a block of quartz. But that is an iron bee. And I lost track of it. Come here. Where'd you go? Did you go back in here? No. Okay, we got it. And we'll have to breed them some more. Okay, I bred those 2 again. And we got a second iron bee. That's okay. They don't seem super interested in the flower. Maybe there's something I don't understand. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So I think what we should do is maybe just in place of the poppy, we could put an iron trap door down. It's not like we're hurting for iron, but they're pretty cheap. I think we could put one right there. Do you 2 care? You do care. Wonderful. You're just terrible at this. There you go. Now I also threw our 1 lumber bee in here. And I guess the lumber bee will produce a lot. It's producing these chips. And I'd be lying if I said I knew what they did. They might just be garbage. Can't place them. You can't craft anything with them. Like, interesting. Alright, we're gonna get 2 more. Like another crystalline and another ashy going, because I really don't want to have to breed these 2 forever. Just to try to get those, those 2 over there forever, just to try to get one of, I think, 4 different bees. Don't actually know that that worked. Oh, it might have. I forgot to put a roof on. Come here, you. Alright, well, if we got a little bibby, it got away. We can live with that. Oh, there we go. And there's a copper bee. Wonderful. Come here, buddy. Now we better check this out. Okay, it needs a block of copper or a lightning rod. I don't want to really put a lightning rod in here. I don't know how that's going to work out. But we could absolutely do a block of copper. And we'll just pop it right over here. That ought to be fine. There you go, buddy. Same two gave me a tin bee. And I assume that it's going to need some kind of a tin product. Oh, we can get bronze bees. Okay, has to be a tin block. That's aluminum. Let's see. Now we got a little bit of tin. These modded metal bees are urgently needed. There you go, buddy. Oh, this guy. Couple things from supplementaries. They're just like the wandering traders, except angrier. And sure enough, we're getting copper combs and tin combs. So we'll get raw out of that from a centrifuge. I assume the same is true with the tin? Oh, we'll get the dust. Okay, so there are differences. We'll get more copper per bee when all is said and done than we will tin. But, how much tin do we need? It's not like I felt like we've been running a shortage. Be good to have an infinite supply, though. I think it's weighted towards the iron bees, because we have 3 iron bees now. We have 2 copper. We now have 1 aluminum, which is very cool, and we have 1 tin. Like at least 1 more aluminum and 1 more tin before we move on from that breeding set. Now, once again, I assume the aluminum bee. Is it aluminum in this, or is it aluminium? It's aluminum. Very cool. Okay, so what do you need? You need an aluminum block? You need an aluminum block. That's fine. We can handle that. But since we have 2 going, what I might do is you can use a crystalline bee and breed it with, here we go, breed it with a mason bee to get a gold bee. And I know we have a mason bee in here somewhere. This is the one. That's a resin bee. That's the one. Let's let those 2 get acquainted. Boy, that's weathering awful fast, isn't it? I'm not complaining. And we got one. Now, we have a gold chicken that's giving us nuggets. Let's see what the gold bee needs and what the gold bee will do. Okay, so it's gonna want gold something. We can give it a gold trapdoor, it's fine. The gold comb gives us raw gold, so that's a huge upgrade from the chicken. That's awesome. There is a gold trapdoor in this, but it's actually the pressure plate that it wants. It looks like they really only use, at least the ones that the mod itself probably uses, like they basically use vanilla things. And like the tin one, for instance, all it uses is the tin block, even though I'm fairly sure. Well, let's try aluminum. Well, I guess we've only really got blocks. We got the ores, but it didn't like that. So, I don't know. A little bit of a data point, I guess. Now, I, a forgetful person, generally forget to put the bottles in here when I put these down. Fortunately, when that's the case, you get like a honey addition to the texture. That's what shows when there's like stuff like trapped in its little reservoir. Let's see, what chest is that feeding into? This one? Yeah, tin combs. Very cool. And we finally got some skeletal bees. Come on, fellas. Very nice. Means we should, I don't think there will be any in here. We can finally tear these down and repurpose them. Okay, so we have 2 gold bees, so we're going to put one of the crystalline bees away. That'll be the one with the mason bee. Does these boys do anything else? Yes, with an iron bee, we can make a silver bee. Okay. I punched this one. It's just been sitting at the door. I didn't do it on purpose. Come here, you. I said come here. There we are. Let's let you and Mason Bee over here get acquainted. Let's see. Okay, yeah, 1 silver bee. Wonderful. Won't have to worry about silver anymore. Needs a silver block. I hope, yeah, we got enough silver for a silver block. Okay. Alright. So that's the basic idea with most of the breeding. Where'd the little guy go? There you are. Yeah. Now there are some other mechanics to make some other bees, so let's get ready to think about that. Now, as far as I know, only way to at least get your first wither rose in here, in this particular pack, is the hard way. So we're gonna need a wither to kill some mobs. So we're gonna build a little mob cage out here in the end, where I don't care if it gets destroyed. And we're gonna put some mobs down. Now, things I don't know. Will the wither explosion, when it forms, make these things into wither roses? Let's find out. Shouldn't take them long to form. Arrows? Yeah, we have arrows. Oh yeah! Yeah, they got destroyed immediately though. Oh, that stinks. Oh, no, our magnet picked them up. Wonderful. Now, our friendly neighborhood whirligigs should be able to reproduce them for us, but we don't want the whirligigs withering away. So, what we're gonna do, since we need spruce anyway, is we're gonna make a little box for a wither rose here. And, like I said, we need spruce wood, so we're largely going to make it out of spruce wood. Okay, we're just gonna pop it down here, put some glass on top, and I'm gonna assume that if it doesn't wither us, it's not gonna be able to wither the whirligigs. And they won't go in there. Like, you notice they don't like phase in and out of these blocks. They move around them, just like a normal entity with a hitbox. You can even hit them with a sword if you're, mean. Now, wither roses are cool, just for their own sake. But I noticed, looking up skeletal bees here, right? So there's this bee conversion mechanic. I guess you give one of these a skeletal bee and it turns into a withered bee. And these, of course, produce withered combs, which have a chance of producing a withered skull chip, 9 of which will give you a skull. We have the farm down below, but, I'd just as soon everything in my life be hands-free. So here's an interesting question. Will the bees be adversely affected by the wither rose? I wouldn't imagine the wither bee would be, but would the regular skeleton bee be adversely affected if I had it in here? One way to find out. Alright, let's see if this is as simple as it seems. Oh yes! There's our friend the wither bee. Withered bee. Let's put down a wither rose for him. What do you two say? Oh, this guy. Okay, yeah, it does hurt the skeletal bee. So, what's it all about? What do we do with all this stuff? Good question. We're gonna need some power out here, and that shouldn't be very hard, as we've got these to beat the band. And we're just gonna need an ender tank. Shouldn't be too big a deal. There they are. I can never find them. So we'll need a cauldron, and we probably have all the rest of this stuff. And I feel like we might have processing back here. I just threw some cobblestone down for the time being. We're gonna take a MV battery box, right? And we're gonna run some cable into it. High voltage cable ought to be just fine. And we're gonna have an ender tank that we will dye red. Dye the clusters on top of it red, anyway. So that it'll be hooked up to our lava pumping system. We're gonna need a couple of pipes. Very nice. Set these to extract. And this thing's filling up with power. We're going to take one more high voltage cable, because these will convert. You can't convert Fe into whatever this stuff is, I forget, spark. But you can convert that into forge energy with these cables. So we want to do that. Other thing we're going to want here is something called a centrifuge. So let's see, we got the centrifuge, we got a powered centrifuge. And we're going to want the powered one. So we'll go ahead and make a grindstone. And the basic one here. And now we'll make the powered one. I don't know how many of these we're going to need. I assume more than one. It's got power though. So let's turn our magnet off. Let's go in here. Let's take these withered cones, right? So what happens? Oh, okay, it's a GUI. Alright. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to pump in and out of here. It's a GUI that got a little display. That's fancy. So we'll see if we can pump out the sides. Let's pop an inventory down here. See how we do. Okay, yeah, we're getting wax and skull chips. Easy, easy. What are there upgrades? Speed upgrade, okay. So we need an upgrade base and alright, so this is cool. This also produces liquid. I think it only produces honey. I think what we're gonna do to keep it simple, well, actually we'll need a couple of these, won't we? So maybe we'll do them on the top. We're gonna want another set of ender tanks. Okay, I'm starting to figure out how we're gonna do this. What we're gonna have here, and I may even, oh right, we'll just leave it there. What we got 3 powered centrifuges, all being run off lava generation. We got pipes coming out the bottom set to draw out. We're gonna, I got a few extras in here. I was figuring out how to do it the best way. They're all going into this diamond chest. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook up ender chests to our diamond chests that are receiving honeycombs. Now this should all go in there and maybe get thrown in here. Okay, regular honeycombs won't go into the, oh, well, yes they will. Oh, we don't have this set to extract. Yeah, okay. They're getting fed in there. Very cool. I could just run pipes, but underground and skip these, but I think it will be good to have these as buffers. And we might want to add a filter to the setup over there, but let's finish what we're doing first before we get too distracted. There we go. Set that one to import. So what these aren't is fast. We've got a lot because we ran this for a while. But I'm pretty sure we saw those upgrade slots, so let's see what would be involved. Oh, okay, look at all this. We've got upgrade bases. Okay, so some of these we put in hives. And it'll tell you whether or not you can put them in centrifuges. So let's see, is there anything but a speed that we can put in the centrifuge? Okay, so speed's what we want. Let's start with 3 of them. Now I did grab some honeycombs. There we go. And is it just 4 to make the block? It's just 4 to make the block. That's very friendly. And we're gonna need some clocks. That ought to do it. And there we go. We're gonna need a whole bunch of these upgrade bases. Oh, and we need honey treats to make them. Okay. Will you look at that? We're getting liquid honey in here, and we're getting honey bottles in here. That's interesting. How is that working? These aren't connected. Maybe they're just passing through the centrifuges. This is only connected to the centrifuges, so I don't know what other explanation there might be. That's very friendly. Make some honey blocks. Some bottles in there. Let's make some treats. Okay, this should be enough to let us make 12 upgrade bases. We got an advancement, very cool. Now the speed upgrade, this is what we need the clocks for. Oh, those don't stack, huh? So let's see, we can put one in there. Does another one take, okay, another one takes up the next slot. So this definitely seems like something that we want to do. 4 upgrades is fast. I think that's what we want. How's our power? It's keeping up. Awesome. And what we're gonna do here is have all of this dump out into an ender chest that's hooked up to our ender rift. So it should start taking this stuff out. And we should start to see it. Oh, we're getting wither roses. That's cool. Yeah, the wax is, now what's up with this wax anyway? What's it for? Blocks and candles. Okay, the blocks do anything? Oh, we can, instead of chips. Okay, so we want that if we're actually going to use a lumber bee. The chips don't actually seem to do anything. Now we got a never-ending supply of candles. And it looks like that's about the basics anyway. I want to work on the build some more, breed up some more bees, but that seems like something to do maybe between episodes unless I run into something interesting. So thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.